You're killing me.
Trying to decide if the blue screen was better or this.
Oh my goodness. And that's it. We're done.
And we're done. Thanks for coming.
Well, hopefully we get some people jumping on here now that we actually have the real one going here. The other two were just fake. It was fake news. And now we've got the good news going here. So we'll
by the way, I kind of feel this. I'm kind of feeling this like Thursday stubble thing you got going on here. That's a good tweener for you.
I know. I feel like a tweener. I definitely do.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But it's funny. I still got. I got a couple of guys that are still giving me a hard time. They're like, "Dude, do not ever shave your face ever again." I'm like, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right.
Well, let's get rocking and rolling here. Good to see you, Kevin. Mr. Sweeney.
Afternoon.
Good to see you on here.
Sweeney says he looks better blue. Attaboy, Sweeney.
That's true.
Oh man.
Well, this is not your typical Luke and Rory Facebook Live show that we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah. But this one is a little bit more in line with talking to all of our real estate friends out there that might feel like they're on Isolation Island. And if you're not a real estate agent, stay on here. You probably know a real estate agent. This is good news you can share with them too. But you're not on Isolation Island. You're not alone. And kind of wanted to just chat with you guys today, see how everybody's doing out there, how you're hanging in there. I know how Luke's doing. I saw the pre-show before we went live on this.
Yeah. I
saw the pre-show.
Yeah.
You hanging in there, buddy?
Yeah, you're welcome for that. Oh, I'm hanging in there, man. I'm living the dream. I was talking to who was I talking to last night actually about this? I was going back and forth last night through text and with somebody, and they're like, "Hey man, you doing okay?" And I'm like, I'm living the dream. Dare I say that I was meant for this? So I mean, if you know me and my hatred of the human race, it's been great, man. It's quiet out here in the woods, and yet, like we're going to talk about today, I still have access to everything I need to make sure that I'm getting work done and being successful. So, the governor was like, "Hey, we're going to extend this another month," and I'm like, "That's it? Why don't we go hard, man? Let's rein this in until Christmas." So,
you bring up a good point because I sent you a screenshot yesterday, and management was still able to slap me on the wrist for doing something stupid. So it's not much has changed, to be quite honest with you.
No, it's just the same. It's no big deal. So
yep.
So it's yeah. Oh, I knew who I was talking to. I was talking to Mr. Jacob E. Hall yesterday. That's who I was telling him about this. Yeah, he was like, "Hey, man," he goes, nothing like the apocalypse to remind you of the social life you don't have. He goes, after being on lockdown for a few days, I was like, "Are we still in lockdown? Like this?" I didn't even realize. I didn't even notice. I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of how I feel." I'm like, "What's going on out there?" So
it's a ghost town. It's a ghost town. I had to go pick up a sign last night, and it was very strange driving on 167, and there was no traffic either direction it was like 6 o'clock. It just
goes. What's hilarious about that is Graham doesn't apparently Graham still hasn't gotten television or something out here. Don't have the radio because I don't think people got the memo out in Graham. Like you keep posting pictures like no one's on the radio, and I'm like, they must just not be going further than like 176 because if you come out here, boy howdy, people are just roaming around like it's no big deal.
Oh man. Well, a couple things we're going to talk about today real quick. Thank you, Buddy Buck, for texting me. Buddy Buck texted me in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. One of the things we're going to talk about is something really cool that eXp just rolled out this week, and it's called the training passports. And I was looking at this last night. Do you realize that these training passports are good for over 400 hours of free online training?
I mean, if you add it all up, yeah, because you're looking at 2 months, right? And we're doing It could even be more than that, because wasn't it at one point this last week, they had over 100 hours in 1 week alone of training. So if they keep ramping it up like that for The Walking Dead we're going through here right now, it's going to be, I mean, you really think it could end up being like 800 hours or so.
Right.
So it's,
right.
That's, and when I heard this whole thing, that they were rolling out the training access to anybody, I was just proud, man, to work for a company that's willing to do that. I mean, we've talked a lot on our show about just humanity and looking out for each other and taking care of each other through all this. And I was proud to work for a company that said, hey, a lot of you realtors out there don't have access to all your training. We have the ability to make sure that you stay plugged in and to continue to raise the level of our industry. So we're going to do that. All jokes aside, all fees aside, here you go, have at it. And hopefully it benefits you in some way.
Yeah, it's a very proud moment. I was looking at what other brokerages are offering out there, and obviously I don't have internal emails from the different brokerages out there, but I was able to take a look at what's out there in the public spectrum, and I won't mention the brokerage name, but a lot of the coaches in that brokerage have offered to reduce their coaching fees for the month of April. And I'm thinking to myself,
what a bunch of sweethearts.
Reduce the coaching fees?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, over here at eXp, we're going to allow everybody to come over here and take part of all the training. And it's not eXp specific training. It's training for our industry.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like if you look through the training lists, I would say the vast majority of it, probably like 80%, really has nothing to do with just eXp as a whole. I mean, granted, there is training in there to be successful in the tools that eXp offers, but there's a lot of stuff out there just, and I know you're going to run down some lists, but how to be successful with video in real estate, your drip campaigns, your marketing, all these things that are just good know-how for anybody who's in the industry, no matter where you're at. I just plugged somebody in this morning. A gal that we've done a cross transaction with and done some referral work with before. She hit me up and she's like, hey, I heard this is going on. I saw what you posted. Can I get in on it? I'm like, yeah, sure. Plugged her in. And she's like, thank you so much. This entire thing is getting me reevaluating how I do things.
Right.
And so, yeah, got her plugged in and off and running, man.
That's awesome, man. And that's what it's all about. It's, it's just to get these agents connected, because we've heard stories about some agents are stuck out there at home and they literally can't do anything. And, our good buddy, David Quandrell just chimed in there and talked about the icon conversations. And let's talk about that in a second. Let me run through these. It's just a partial list. I didn't write down everything that's available. Military location, goal setting for agents, building certainty in uncertain times, real estate fundamentals, how to consistently build your database, the ultimate agent survival guide, the real estate business planning, productivity for capping, how to build a recession-proof business plan, how to gain momentum in our current slowdown, how to shift and prioritize your goals in a crisis, lead generation workshop, prospecting and lead generation, team building, win $1 million listings before the appointment, brand and empower yourself with video, grow, build, and scale with video, workplace as a mobile office, expand your business through relationships and exposure now, why you should take massive action during social distancing, real estate negotiation expert, real estate content creators, social media mastermind, and of course, the individual team meetings and the weekly state meetings. That's just a tip of the iceberg of the classes available. And the thing is, if you want to go over to expcloud.com, you'll see all the classes that are available. And you can take classes in the UK if you want to. There's a couple of classes that I saw at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, no. I'm up at that time, but no.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are you talking about? You're wide awake at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, no kidding. But I mean, that's amazing, man. And none of those classes were eXp specific. They were industry specific.
No, and then the iConversations that Q mentioned, those, man, I just those still blow my mind. So whatever you call it, wherever you're at, whether it's KW, Coldwell, Windermere, whatever your top dogs are, your superstar agents, for us, they're icons. We call them icons. And our good buddy Q is an icon. Rory's trending to be an icon this year for our team. And every Friday, they have these iConversations where you get to tap into some of the most successful real estate minds in the country. and they just drop knowledge, man. And give you like dirty little secrets and things that you can do that they put into their business. And, Q, he just put on here, he's moderating next Friday, which I don't know if you should have told us that, Q, because we are definitely going to get everybody on there and harass you the entire time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It is on like Donkey Kong, eXp phrase. I love the conversations. So in this industry, we're always asking, right? And we're always trying to get secrets from people and get tidbits of that gold of what works for people. And every Friday, eXp and the icons are just like, here you go. Come in, pick our brains. This is what we got for you. This is what we're doing. This is how we're being successful. And so for anybody, I don't care who you are, man, eXp or not, that's to have access to that. That's pretty high end, man.
I've got some friends that about a year ago, they told me, they asked me if I could share some stuff with our community out here in the Pacific Northwest. And I said, no, I don't want to share that because you're my special information. I don't want to share that with anybody. And they called me out and they said, that's such a bad, negative attitude to have. And it kind of struck me, and it was one of those tough love kind of things. And so then when I attended one of my first iConversations, I was blown away. I thought to myself, these are agents, certain production level in their business.
Yep.
And they're giving away the farm. They're telling everybody exactly how they do it. And it's a beautiful thing because they'll get 3 different agents up there and all 3 of them do business completely different, but yet they're all up on the stage because they all hit that production level. And that's the fantastic thing about eXp is that collaboration like you were talking about.
Yeah. And those things, I've told people a million times, they're like, how are you successful? What can I do that you're doing? And I'm like, don't necessarily try to do what I'm doing.
Right.
Take what I do or what Rory does or anybody else does and customize it for yourself because everyone's different, right? And everyone's plugged into different groups, different social circles, different hobbies, all kinds of that kind of stuff. And a lot of what I've told people that is successful in real estate is finding a way to make your life, your circles, your hobbies a part of your business. And it's different for everybody. And those iConversations, you get a chance every Friday. What is it? 4 of them? I think it's 4 of them, right? Every Friday.
There's 3 agents and 1 moderator.
3 agents and 1 moderator. So,
but they're all icon agents.
So you get a chance to hear from multiple every week, and so you could be on there one Friday and pick up 1 or 2 things or nothing, and then the next Friday just get a bunch of gold. You're like, man, this applies to me so much. And so that's a beautiful thing, man. Just be able to tap those minds and those successful people, and then find ways to implement it into your own style in your own life.
Yeah, and it's just what eXp is doing. I just put the let me put this right here so people can see it again. EXPcloud.com.
Yeah.
If you guys go to that website, you will see the list of classes and trainings that are available, and it's a weekly thing. So I mean, if you can't attend anything next week, but you want to attend something the week after, not a problem. They've got it on the calendar. You can start planning out your week.
Yep.
It's great stuff. And if you're sitting at home, I mean, we're almost on the edge of begging you. If you're sitting at home, don't watch Tiger King all the freaking time. Do something about growing your business and building that foundation and being one of those agents that when we finally break out of our houses, you're going to hit the ground running. Because here's the thing. Luke shared this with me the other day. I think it was Luke, or maybe it was our buddy Greg, who basically said I had to send a contract back to another agent because they just didn't fill it out correctly.
Yeah, it was Greg.
And it's like, make yourself better, grow yourself, grow your business, because you make our industry better. And our industry already has enough of a stigma. Learn, grow, be better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say I'm just moving stuff around here on my desk. What was I getting at? I've always told people, I told you this, and I'll share this. I've shared this a few times, and I'm sure if this person's ever watching our show, they know that I'm talking about them. But I've never said their name.
I already know who you're going to talk about.
Yeah, I've never said their name. and because I have too much respect for this person, but this one shocked me about a year ago when I invited someone to a lunch and learn, get some knowledge in, and this person said essentially just said, "Don't need it, don't have time," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And that was this person's attitude, and it was you see basically it was you see how successful I am. Don't need it, don't have time. And in my mind, I thought to myself, the pride, right, in me was like, bro, I've been at this twice as long as you. I'm successful as well. But in my mind, if I ain't growing, then I'm dying. And if I'm not every day trying to find a way to be better for my clients and my potential clients, then what am I doing in this business? Because you know as well as I do, things change every day. Things change every day in this business. And if I'm not constantly, and look, man, I year with not really finding anything groundbreaking that's going to be, being around other agents, putting myself in those learning environments is going to enrich my ability to represent my clients. And so I was so shocked with that person because I do respect them quite a bit on just their attitude towards that. And my opinion, and this isn't to say I'm better than this person or anybody else for that matter, has always been, I will look at anything. I will look at any opportunity, business opportunity, any brokerage you wanted to talk to me, any training, whatever, because you never know where that gold might be found. And so, and that's the way I was with eXp, right? When we started talking about it, I said, what could it hurt? What could it hurt to go? I've been in this game for, over 10 years, and I've been at different brokerages. What could it hurt to go check it out? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Whatever, it's not a big deal. And it's the best move I've ever made. And it's just blown me away. Dude, I sent you the screenshot this morning of revenue share on my account, and we still got a week left in the revenue share period for this month, and I'm up at $3,000, and that has possibly to significantly grow in the next week with stuff that I know that's out there. It's and it's been more than that, it's been less than that, but it's been amazing to work for a company that cares that much. And so with the training aspect that they're unrolling right now, and I know I'm just being long-winded, but I tell people, I would tell people, like, don't miss out on an opportunity to grow. It doesn't mean you're coming to eXp. It doesn't mean you're changing brokerages. But when there is a world-class brokerage offering you their award-winning world-class training for free for 2 months while you're sitting on your hands anyways, take advantage of it, and let's raise the water level for our industry. We have enough people out there, enough naysayers about what we do and how much we're needed. And so it's times like these where we can all take advantage of this kind of stuff. So don't just sit at home and say, I know it, or I'm not going anywhere, or whatever. Be willing to say, I'm always going to look for opportunities to grow and get, as well, check this out.
Yeah. Because quite honestly, I think there's going to be some brokerages that once we get back out there into the real world again, I think there's going to be some brokerages that are going to be hurting. And I think there's going to be some agents that are going to be wishing they had jumped on this opportunity. And we've heard, I shared this stat with you this morning. I didn't get a chance to listen to the leadership meeting this morning live, but I watched the video about 2 hours ago. And they talked about how we've grown by 6,000 agents in just the first quarter. eXp is growing. And the thing is if you don't jump on, you're going to be left behind. And we know some big names that have come over in the past week, and we know the rumblings of some other names that are coming over in the next week. And don't get left behind. I mean, can you imagine if we had waited 2 years? If we had waited 2 years to make the decision and pull the trigger and join eXp, I mean, think about how far behind the curve we would be based off of everything we've done over the last 2 years at eXp. Oh, that'd be tragic.
I'd be punching myself in my own neck, man. Yeah. And that goes back to the whole mentality. And again, I'm not sitting here trying to say I'm smarter than anybody, but it's because I'm not smarter than everybody that I learned a long time ago I should always be willing to listen. And so, and because of that, we're now in the position we're in. And because of our willingness to say, what could it hurt? Right? I mean, this looks too good to be true. but you'll never know unless you jump in, right? And so the great thing about our industry is that we're our own boss, man. So nowhere, not any other industry. I couldn't be working at like Bank of America and be like, hey, man, I'm going to go check out Wells Fargo for 6 months. If I don't like it, I'll be back, right? They tell me to kick rocks. And so
right.
In this business, we could literally say, hey, we want to check this out. And if we license, because we can do that day to day whenever we want to.
Yeah.
Hey, let's give it another spin somewhere else.
Yep. Good stuff. All right, you guys. So again, if you're interested in the training passport, doesn't cost anything. We're not going to tell you a brokerage. You can use your personal email address if you want to. We're not going to spam you. It's just a chance for you to better yourself. And if you're interested, reach out to Luke, reach out to myself. We will get you set up with a passport. Go in there, take advantage of the next 8 weeks of free training. And if it leads to something, awesome. Let's have you come on over. And if it doesn't, you'll be a better agent nonetheless. So go to expcloud.com to see what classes we have available. And like I said, if you want to jump in there, reach out to Luke or reach out to myself. And we'll get you set up with that. So
also know
go ahead.
The lunch and learns that we do a lot of times, where we're basically just showing the model that we're working with. Rory and I have private offices in our virtual world. And so we can at any time bring you into the private office to hang out with us and run through some of the things of what eXp is doing. If you're interested, if you just want to know, you're just curious about what kind of game they're running with, we'd be glad to do it. I know that we already have a lunch and learn, essentially a virtual one on Monday, and Rory and I are looking at doing some other ones ourselves in our boardroom in the eXp world. And so, if you're interested, let us know. We'll definitely get you on the books. We'll bring you into our own private office in there, and we can chit chat for half hour, kind of show you how we do things. And at that point, you have access to the whole world to kick around for a couple months and see what you see. So don't hesitate if you have any questions at all to reach out to one of us.
Yeah, dude, I need to talk to somebody because I know that the interior decorators are essential in our office. So I need to get my office decorated.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't like what it looks like right now.
Oh man.
Here's a link to we've got the virtual lunch and learn on Monday, April 6th at 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. If you're interested in learning more about eXp overall, then go ahead and go to that website and register. And our good friend Buddy Buck will be doing we'll be doing a presentation talking about eXp. And and here's the one thing, I don't want to steal Buddy's thunder, but here's the one thing that I think people should understand about eXp. If you just want to come on over and change your business card and join eXp, do it, and then continue to do real estate. You don't have to do some of the other things that could be another avenue, another revenue stream for you. And I know that personally an example of somebody who said, I'm not going to attract any agents to eXp. I'm just coming over and I'm just doing real estate. Well, what happened with that particular agent?
Yeah, and the thing is, it just doesn't matter, man. Like,
no,
I came to eXp. The original is tell me about the real estate, because that's how we put bread on the table, right? And I looked at the real estate side of things and I said, good Lord, this is like driving, a Lamborghini, you know what I mean? Like, this is just the next level. And I thought, okay, even if I didn't do any agent attraction or any of the company ownership, agent ownership, stock option stuff, like, this is a way better vehicle than what I'm driving right now. And so that made it worth it. And for those agents who have been in this game for a long time, as well as I do, not a year goes by without a couple people chatting to you. I mean, hell, you were at our last office because you and I sat down and had lunch, and it didn't put any money in my pocket, but over here it puts $3,000 a year in my pocket for having you here. So thank you. But you don't have to do that. Right. And people are going to ask you where you're at and why you're there. And if you give them 5 minutes to let them buy you a coffee and tell them about it, then, it could put more money in your pocket. But aside from that, if you love real estate, you got to see the vehicle, man, that you could be driving. And as far as the meeting goes, I do want to reiterate to people, like, hey man, we are at home right now with, I I don't want to say a lot of time on our hands because we're keeping ourselves busy, but we have time. And so, if you don't want to jump into a Zoom meeting and, kind of feel like you're on the spot or whatever, and you just kind of want to hang out with one of us or both of us and get some laughs in, just holler at us, man. We'll bring you into the office with us. We can all sit in front of our computer screens and virtually high five and have a good time and drop some knowledge on you if you want.
Yep, definitely. And I mean, the thing is with, touch on the business aspect of it. You've got some people who said, I don't want to attract agents. You got other agents who have shared stories that they were on the cusp of leaving their current brokerage and starting their own independent brokerage.
Yeah.
And we know of two guys right off the bat that realized, hey, that's that makes zero sense with the eXp model.
Yeah. I mean, zero. I always like to tell people who are looking at doing their own brokerages, and I'm like, or plug into eXp and still make all that money and have none of the responsibility. I mean, like,
it's so true.
Yeah, still make the money of having your own brokerage, but not have to worry about insurances and liabilities and checking contracts and audits. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys are interested, join us on Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Yep. Go to expmeeting.com and register. And again, that's secret. We don't share that with brokerages or anything like that. That's just between us. And come learn more. So, all right. One final thing is let's talk about the Ren Happy Hour. And I just put the thing up there right there. We did our first Team Ren. And in case you're wondering, it's the Real Estate Network. Yeah. We did our first one on Wednesday. And what did we have? Did we have like 20 people show up?
Yeah, it was 15, 20, depending on the time. That was fun, man. I had Rach sitting in here with me. She gave me a hard time, as she always does, as if we were at a regular bar, saying I socialize too much. I'm just a social butterfly when I'm out and about. So it felt like normal. Like being at a bar.
If I was Rachel, I would have jumped in on my own Zoom meeting so she could have had the entire microphone.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Yeah, yeah.
No, Rachel, quiet.
Exactly. Yeah, but it was cool for her to see too, kind of how we can operate, man. So.
Yeah. So it's pretty simple. You just bring your favorite drink. It could be coffee. It could be an old fashioned. It could be water. It could be milk, whatever you want. Just bring it. And it's just, now that meeting is absolutely has no agenda whatsoever. It's just like you're at a regular bar, just chatting. Of course, business is going to come up, but so is personal things. So is life. And we break out into different rooms and it's a lot of fun. And so again, if you're an agent out there and you feel like you're on Isolation Island, come join us. There's zero agenda other than to have communication with other human beings during this crazy time. So head over to renhappyhour.com and it's a Zoom meeting and it's a lot of fun and it'll help you kind of, again, get away from Tiger King and talk to humans that are not as bad as Joe Exotic.
And I would say, even if you're not an agent, come over, man. Come hang out with us at the happy hour. So we're all looking for a little human interaction.
And yes, as David Quantrell likes for us to point out, pants are optional.
Pants are always optional for Q.
Just make sure the camera's above. So, all right, you guys. Well, again, if you're out there, you're not alone. There are people out there that are in the same situation as you. The thing is with eXp, we actually have some outlets and some avenues that we can use to continue to grow during the slowdown time. So if you guys want more information, reach out to that guy right there, Mr. Luke Weaver, or reach out to myself. We would love to talk to you guys some more if you would like to find out more information about all these cool things. But don't go through this time alone. And, one thing I'll let you have the last word there, Mr. Weaver. But the one thing they talked about in the meeting this morning is reach out to other agents. Don't just reach out to other clients. Reach out to other agents because isolation can lead to depression and depression can lead to other thoughts. And this is a tough thing right now. The governor just extended it till the 4th of March or the 4th of May. And there's a lot of people out there that feel like they're an Isolation Island. You don't have to be. We're here. We're all here for everybody. So with that said, Mr. Weaver, take it home.
I got nothing for you, man. I hope you're all doing well out there. I really do hope you're finding success in whatever you do, with what tools you have at hand. And myself, or even Quantrell's on here, if you know Q, and let us know how we can help, and just let's elevate ourselves. Let's lift each other up and lift up our industry.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a fantastic weekend and hope to see you on Monday.